Some traders at the new KJT market in Kumasi are resisting management's lock-up of their shops over non-payment of premiums. The over 220 traders affected by the exercise say they expect owners of the facility to pay compensation for the demolition of their structures at the old market space. Some of the traders who resumed work to find their stores locked forcefully unlocked the padlocks. Love FM's Malik Auku joins us live with more. Malik, what's the current situation there? Hello, Malik. If you can hear me, what is the current situation at where you are?
Currently, the traders are having a meeting with the management of the KJT market. They are arguing before the construction of the new facility. Government was supposed to, pay them some compensations, but government failed to do that. And for that matter, they are also reluctant in paying the premium that they were supposed to pay. They claim if government want them to, pay such an amount, then they also waiting for government to pay the premium, waiting for government to pay the compensation before they also do same as the government is expected from them. So it has been a little dicey with the management of the facility, but currently they are having a meeting just to judge so that they can bring finality to the issue.
Is this compensation they talk about an agreed upon compensation with the government or something they are thinking ought to have been paid?
They said before the demolition of the KJT market, they had an agreement with the government about such compensation, which the manager of the KJT market, Mr. Kofi Dufour, confirmed to us that there was some agreement concerning the compensation, but government is yet to, finalize the compensation issue with the traders. But with regards to the premium, they have to, pay so that they can also get money to run the market. Government went for loan for the facility, so we need to pay such amount through the premium they are going to pay. So without the premium, it will be very difficult for them to run the market and also for the government to get money to pay back the loan. Because government is giving them 20% out of the premium for the running of the market. But the traders insist they also need to get their compensation from the government before they also do same.
So run us through what's happening at the old site where this particular demolition should be occurring.
Yes, that was then the old KJT market. That was the old KJT market. They claim there were about 2,000 traders who are supposed to get compensation from the government. They said before they demolish their property, government sat down with them, and yet they also think before the demolition of their properties, some monies were given to government to use as a compensation to them. But government has failed to oblige that. Government has failed to pay the compensation. They believe they are alleging government have spent the money, and now government want them to pay the premium that they are expecting from them.
So it means that without them paying, they cannot trade in the new stores that they occupy currently.
The traders forcefully, unlock the shops, which the manager of the facility, Mr. Kofi Dufour, says that was unlawful, and they are also saying what the management of the facility did was also unlawful.
Okay.
That is why they also break in. So it has been a little some dicey, and they are working things out with them. So the manager said they are, there with the traders. They have been there with them for 3 years now. So definitely they will, come to a conclusion on the issue. But they are unhappy why the traders should go in such a long way to, unlock it when they started locking them for the premium.
All right, Malik, grateful to you for joining us. Moving on to other stories. This afternoon, there is tension at Kwabena Constituency over claims that names of aspirants aligned to the current MP have been removed from the constituency's register. The governing New Patriotic Party is set to conduct constituency elections across the country tomorrow, but here in Accra, Dom Kwabenya, Odododio, and 2 other constituencies have been identified as hotspots. Greater Accra Regional Chairman of the party, Divine Agohom, observed that the long absence of the Dom Kwabenya MP, Sarah Adjua-Safo, has created tension among some members, a situation he believes could degenerate during the constituency primaries. We'll go live to the constituency, but first, listen to the regional chairman, Divine Agohom.
We've engaged him. He'll be detailing his men on the field to help provide security. We have just a few areas where we consider as flashpoints for which they would have to beef up, the numbers. Ordinarily, I would have said that the police command at the districts should be enough for this, except for areas where, as I said earlier, we consider as flashpoints.
So how many flashpoints have you identified?
So far, I think just about 4.
Which constituencies are these?
Well, we have quite a volatile situation at Odododio, for instance. Also, Domi Kwabenya, the situation there. I think these 2 I can put on air. The rest, we don't want they themselves to even know that we consider their constituencies as flashpoints. These are security issues. You don't say it on air. But these 2 areas, they've already shown signs that I believe is already in the public space. So, yes, these 2 plus some other 2 constituencies. Otherwise, I am convinced that the way, the process had gone so far in the region, the district police, will be enough to provide security at the various constituencies. And if it so happen, we are good to go.
So how confident are you that these flashpoints you've identified will sail through the process without any chaos, any controversy?
This is an eternal election. One can say it's a family affair. You may have some misunderstanding and, for that reason you want to flex a little. But knowing that you are dealing with a fellow, party member or a colleague for that matter, we don't expect that misunderstandings or disagreements can, escalate into something that will need external security intervention. Otherwise, I want to believe that where the heat could have been, we've gone past that stage already. Normally, it is the process of preparing the album that generates a lot of heat. But as we speak now, we are done with the albums, and we are going to use the very album that we prepared to conduct these elections. And once we've been able to successfully, prepare the album for all the 32 constituencies, I believe we don't have any major issue that can, escalate into something unpleasant. So I believe all will go well.
All right, Samuel Mbura is our man on the ground. Sami, what is happening at where you are now?
Right, there are some challenges that have actually bedeviled the election process. And there is actually an injunction application before the Kwabenya Circuit Court by some electoral area coordinators within the NPP. They are claiming that during the electoral area coordination elections, their names were expunged, and they think that the entire process wasn't fair. So they want the court to injunct the upcoming elections so that their challenges will be addressed. And all these people that are in court are reported to be members of the current MP, Madam Adjua-Safo. Earlier, there was a case at the Adenta High Court seeking an injunction on this same election, raising concerns of, people said to be belonging to Adjua-Safo being expunged from it. Earlier, there was an agreement that, according to some of the party people that I spoke to in the constituency, that out of the 356 polling stations that they have, the old 199 polling stations will not be contested. The coordinators will be allowed to go unopposed. Okay. and the new 157 polling stations created, there will be a contest there. So they say this was an agreement at the constituency level between the faction of Madam Adwoa Safo and Michael Quay. However, this agreement was breached where they realized that the 199 old polling stations had people contesting. So people or supporters of Adwoa Safo that were contesting at the electoral coordinating level pulled out of the election. And that is why they are in court and they want the court to deal with it. So the Adenta High Court actually referred that particular case to the ADR units of the party, saying that they have not exhausted all the internal conflict resolution process, so they should go back to the party to resolve it. Now we are waiting for what the court will say from today's case before the Kobinya Circuit Court. I spoke earlier with the chairman of the constituency, and he said that they were going to court for a hearing. Today, the party's office is not operational because the party, the secretary, who is also contesting for re-election, is out on party business. The attendant at the party too is unavailable. So as we speak now, the constituency office is locked. It's not operational. So the elections in the Dome-Kobinya constituency will be dependent on the court outcome because most of the supporters are not quite happy about the process of those coming from the Adwoa Safo faction. They say that they need transparency in the upcoming elections. The spokesperson to Madam Adwoa Safo says that though the MP will not be around before the election, she will come. But they are worried. Their worry is that there are machinations to work against Madam Adwoa Safo because of the recent issues that have come up, and then they are not happy about the situation. They think that their proponents or their supporters who are contesting the elections have been discriminated, or there are machinations against them. They are saying that if the party does not deal with the situation, they will pull out. They will ask their members to pull out of the constituency election.
So if the court says still the party should try and resolve this, they are saying they withdraw, or they would go by what the court says.
So with the case before the party's election committee, that's the ADR case, that one is even yet to be resolved. I've been told there is a meeting ongoing at the regional office where some of the party constituency executives have been invited, and from the Adwoa Safo side have also been invited for a deliberation on it. So the point they are making is that if the challenges, regardless of what the court will say, if the challenges are not addressed, they are pulling out of the election because they think that they have been treated unfairly in the entire electioneering process.
All right, Samuel Mbura, thank you very much for your time. Now, meanwhile, the chairman is insisting the elections at Dome-Kobinya will be conducted despite the absence of the MP.
I just told you a while ago that in determining the dates for the elections, the input or the interest of the member of parliament to us is major. We try to engage them to understand or to get from them the date that will also suit them. We try to consider all this. So you are not here. So we take a decision, okay, we are going to go this way. Then you come tomorrow, you say, oh, you would have wished it's like this or not. You see, you are creating problems for us. Your people would be expecting that you represent them. It's a political party that put you in parliament. Is that not it? You are on our ticket. So we expect that you would be playing your role in managing the party also in the constituency as a member of parliament, that they voted for you. I hope you understand. And you are not there. So who will be doing this work?
So will you proceed to conduct the election without the president?
Basically, that is what we are going to do. What else can we do? To be waiting for her that we don't know when she's coming back? I mean, who is going to do that? So there are other issues that we are also considering. But for now, we will be doing the constituency elections to elect leaders to manage the affairs of the party in the constituency. Other issues will be considered later.
Now, today is the 50th anniversary of the death of Sergeant Dr. Nkrumah, Ghana's first president. Events are taking place around the world to honor his work and what he represents in history. Here in Ghana, the party he led, the CPP, has embarked on activities to remember the Osagifo. But what about Nkrumah must Ghanaians be talking about today? Joining me in studio is the CPP General Secretary, Nanaya Jantwa, for this. Nana, good afternoon. Thanks for coming. Now, it's been 50 years. Why should we be remembering Dr. Kwame Nkrumah?
We should be remembering Dr. Kwame Nkrumah for his role in liberating this country from the claws of colonialism. He led a struggle to get Ghana free from the hands of the colonialists. You know, Ghana was under the rule of Britain at the time. And he was also very instrumental in liberating most of the countries on the African continent, Guinea, Mali, Ethiopia, all these countries. And he was the father of Pan-Africanism. His works to liberate the continent, people in the continent and those in the diaspora went far. He also was very instrumental at the start of it to make sure that apartheid was taken out. Ghana will also remember him for his industrialization drive and his developmental drive and his selflessness. Osagifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was a very selfless human being. He left an indelible legacy of loving Ghana, making sure that Ghana would move on. We've seen a lot of the things, the landmark of some of the things that he did. You look at the motorway, after almost 60 years, the motorway is still as strong as it is.
Very, very strong.
All the industries that he put up, of course, as in time, most of these governments who were opposed to Kwame Nkrumah's industrialization drive and his bid to make Ghana what it is, sold most of these companies, privatized most of these companies, and most of them cannot be seen. Those who are around, the ones which are around, you can find them in bushes. I mean, all over the country. I remember we went to Kumasi to do his birthday, 72nd birthday of the party, and we went to the pencil factory. I mean, it was pathetic. It was a shadow of itself.
Of itself.
Yes. And to think that at the time, people who were employed were about 6,000 people, and they had forward and backward linkages of about 400 people. 400 people who were working in the factory, pencil factory. Now we import pencil from China. It is sad. And to
50 years ago, some of us were not born.
Yes.
What about him should we remember?
Nkrumah never dies. You are not born, but now you know him. The younger ones know him. It's possible I was also not born. But Nkrumah lives on. He lives on in the works that he did. He lives on in the industries that he put up. He lives on in the literature and the books that he wrote. He lives on in his words, and he lives on in the CPP. It is so sad that he died the way he died. God only knows what he was thinking as he was in Guinea in exile.
Yeah.
And he died a miserable death in Bucharest, Romania. And what we are going to do is to do a funeral for him.
Okay.
Yes.
We're going to do a funeral.
Yes, because Kwame Nkrumah wasn't sent away properly. Traditionally, when somebody dies, you do a funeral. His body was brought from Bucharest. It was exhumed from Guinea and brought in 1974 when a champon at the time buried him in his hometown in Nkrumah. So there was no proper funeral for him.
Okay.
We think that at this jubilee, it is time for his soul to rest.
So where are you going to do that, and how's the funeral going to be?
We are going to launch a funeral committee, and we are doing it in Ghana here, and we are going to involve everybody, and we are asking His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, who is a comrade himself. He was a young pioneer, and during the coup, he ran from Legon to home to hide. Look at the projects that he's doing. They are Nkrumah's projects. Okay. So we are going to call on him to help us. We are going to call on other international presidents like Jomo Kenyatta. Jomo Kenyatta's son, Uhuru Kenyatta, whose father was part of the Pan-Africanist movement.
But with all of this, would you say Ghana has immortalized Nkrumah enough, or the world has immortalized him enough?
The world has immortalized him because that is why they made him the man of the millennium. Nkrumah never dies, but we haven't. Please, you can go and look at the state of the mausoleum. It is a sorry state. A place like the mausoleum where Kwame Nkrumah lays, it is so lonely, so dirty. Even water is not running. A man like Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, an icon of industrialization, an icon of development, an icon of freedom. The man who stood and resisted the rule of the oppressor. So that today you and I are here today being educated, speaking English. You see, you have to go to South Africa to know what Nkrumah did for us.
I am grateful for coming.
I'm also grateful for giving us the opportunity.
Nana Ajantwa is the General Secretary of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's party, the CPP. Now, government says it has commenced processes to make affordable housing project truly affordable for the ordinary Ghanaian. According to the Minister for Works and Housing, it has started engaging some cement factories to sell their product at a cheaper price to support the new project that will be rolled out soon. Francis Asenso-Boakye is optimistic this partnership will help reduce the housing deficit. Michael Ashley has more.
According to the 2020 population and housing census, more than 12% of the total structures counted were vacant, although the national housing deficit reduced by 10%. Meanwhile, the cost of housing has skyrocketed over the last few years owing to major components like the cement. The Minister for Works and Housing, Francis Asenso-Boakye, believes pegging the price of cement at a negotiated level will minimize the cost of constructing more affordable housing units.
Now, one critical component as far as house construction cost is concerned is cement, and that's why you are a key player. So we are about to roll out an affordable housing program, and we think that it is important that we engage with you, the key cement manufacturing companies, so that we can strike a deal for you to provide some sort of special discounted cement for all housing programs or projects that the ministry will designate or classify as affordable housing projects.
He also challenged cement manufacturing companies to explore options to increase the local sourcing of raw materials.
The invasion of Ukraine by Iraq also has its own effect on the price of cement and other building materials. So no one should tell us that it is important that we have to look within as far as building materials are concerned. And as a key player in the production of building materials, we want to encourage you to work with our local research institutions.
Meanwhile, cement manufacturers say they are faced with many challenges. Financial controller with Diamond Cement, Nandigopal Venkatesh, noted the unfair competition is crippling their business.
But we are operating only with 50% of that capacity because of the competition and other factors. In the country, we are not able to complete the 100% capacity. At least even 70-80% also we will not be able to reach because of the competition in the country. So, you know, the number of companies are coming up more with the Chinese and other things. So then the competition is too high in the market. That is why we are not able to compete in the market.
GASM says although it is making efforts to locally source almost all its raw materials, it may not be able to stop the importation of clinker, a vital component in the making of cement. Here is CEO of GASM, Stefano Gallini.
We have in the last years gradually increased our exposure to local content and diminishing the exposure to imported raw materials. Unfortunately, some of them still must be imported, but they are, in our case, much less than before. We are even studying some new areas where we can eventually have some qualitative raw materials that we can utilize for our production. As of today, we are not able to produce clinker in Ghana, but we are still searching new areas, we are still researching for new materials. We will do our best, as I said, to minimize the portion of the imported raw materials and to maximize the utilization of the local raw materials of the local content.
Managing Director of Jata Cement, Nana Philip Archer, says they are ready to support government in its quest to put up affordable housing units.
if anything at all, I think our commitment is more to making sure that we align with government policy to make sure that housing in this country becomes affordable. Now, we have already started, and for us, we will go every length to make sure we partner this country and then ensure that at the end of the day, the vision by this country will fit into our vision as well in making sure that cement product become affordable.
Francis Asenso-Boachi says the proposal to construct more affordable housing units is being considered by the Finance Ministry. For Joy News, Michael Ashale, Accra.
The LPG Marketers Association of Ghana is calling on government to remove all taxes on liquefied petroleum product to help curtail the rising cost of the product on the market. According to the president of the association, Gabriel Kumi, this is the surest way to bring relief to Ghanaian LPG consumers and to help government achieve its target of getting about 50% of Ghanaians using LPG instead of charcoal. His comment come on the back of a report by Joy News in which there is an increase in demand for charcoal as an alternative to LPG for cooking as a result of the upsurge in the price of LPG. Prince Apia has more in this report.
Madam Gifty is about to cook. She is opting to use charcoal because she can't afford to fill her gas cylinder. According to her, a bag of charcoal is cheaper and lasts longer than the gas.
So the bidena na ko say gassy see away we feeling see when you are 1.6 1.7 what even feeling bidena so dey meto tobo akusi one man na metin use more than
the gas is too expensive. Now you have to pay 160 or 70 cedis and it doesn't last.
Ukraine, you see the gas no boy a dia my cemento. You see o feel ya so na the nasa.
The rise and instability in the prices of LPG is a worry to consumers.
My gas is finished, so I have to use the charcoal.
The Forestry Commission says the surge in the demand for charcoal is a clear depletion of the vegetation cover. Augustine Kofi Jedu is the Ashanti Regional Manager.
Those who are illegally burning charcoal here and there, we want to caution them that it's not every tree that is supposed to be cut to burn charcoal. Yes, so they need to obtain permit from the nearest forest office before they do that. A lot of families, households have turned to charcoal production, and that one is also affecting the environment.
So in 2015, government distributed 50,000 free cylinders to rural communities in Ghana. It was part of government policy to increase access to LPG in these areas. But the rising cost of LPG in recent times is affecting the demand.
A bag of charcoal used to be 30 cedis, but it's now 40 cedis. So we also sell the bag at 45 cedis. Due to the price increase, we no longer sell it at 1 cedis.
According to the Forestry Commission, people are cutting down trees that are not meant for charcoal. To safeguard the forest, the Commission is distributing plants that can be used for commercial charcoal production.
So what Forestry Commission is doing now is to levy those trucks that carry charcoal. We have checkpoints at various locations, and we charge 80 pesos per mini bag of charcoal. So we count the number of bags in the truck, and then you pay something to the state. Apart from that, Forestry Commission mobilize those monies, and then they give it to us to raise nurseries. So as we talk now here in Asante region, we have such nurseries that we supply free seedlings to people to plant to protect the environment. So we want to urge charcoal producers to come together as a group or as groups in the various localities. Go to the nearest forestry office, we'll give you the seedlings free of charge to go and plant, so that when they mature, and they are very fast growing as well, when they mature, you can harvest them, and then they will copy it, you go and harvest again. If you do it in a large scale, you can even export if you so wish.
It is a growing concern that the rising demand for charcoal for cooking in recent times will pose a great danger to our already stressed forest. My name is Prince Apia, reporting from Kumasi.
Let's now hear from the LPG Marketers Association's president, Gabriel Kumi, who says the only way more Ghanaians will move away from the usage of charcoal is for government to remove taxes from the price build-up.
Government to consider removing the taxes on the LPG, because we believe LPG must be made tax-free. We believe that the benefit we will gain as a country by pushing up consumption of LPG to that 50% will far more outweigh the benefit we are gaining from these taxes.
Okay.
If you go to our West African neighbors, Cote d'Ivoire is subsidizing the LPG by about 25-30%. They are paying subsidies. Is Cote d'Ivoire's economy better than Ghana? Are we doing worse than Cote d'Ivoire that they could subsidize LPG, but we did not even leave it at full cost, but we've gone ahead to impose taxes on the product? The government objective can never be achieved so long as these taxes, LPG is a very sensitive product to price.
Okay.
Any personal reduction or increase in the price of the product goes a long way to affect its consumption. Look, government is spending so much money, so millions of cedis in tree planting. Recently, the Ministry of Forestry Commission and the Ministry of which is that ministry?
Natural Resources, you mean?
Yes, they spend so much of taxpayers' money planting trees.
Sure.
Very loud idea, but we believe that cannot stand alone. If you do not supplement and complement that by ensuring that the alternative to wood fuel and charcoal is made available and affordable to the ordinary consumer, I can assure you all those trees that we are spending millions of Ghana cedis to plant will never live to serve their purpose. They will be cut down for wood fuel and for charcoal. People must eat. This is an issue of survival.
After close to 3 decades since its inception, the trophy of the National Science and Maths Quiz has rotated among just 11 high schools. But this year, there is a campaign by other schools to break into the club of winners. Like Prempeh College did to win the 2021 edition, the schools are exposing second-year students to boost their chances of winning the competition. Manuel Cranting reports from Siai.
Pure excitement and jubilation in the camp of Constituency Senior High School after they won their contest to qualify from the Ahafo region to the national competition. They are part of some 499 schools which are facing off in this regional round of qualifiers. This win means everything to them.
More than a contestant, because this is what we prepared for. We prepared to come for victory, and we have gotten it. So we are most grateful to the Almighty God for granting us this success.
When the contest started, were you so confident that you're going to win?
I was very confident because my name is also Confidence.
Your name is also Confidence?
Yeah.
But I noticed something peculiar. Like Achirensia, at least one school in all 4 contests on the second day of the regional qualifiers featured a second-year contestant on stage.
In the past, we tried bringing final year students because they had content, but we realized that immediately they leave a void, and that is difficult to fill. And therefore, this new thing is something that is going to stay so that we could have a team always in place.
So we'll take a quick break and bring you business when we return.
Good afternoon, welcome to Business. My name is Darryl Kwao, one of the beneficiaries of the Joy and Adom FM 2021 Mother's Day celebration and contest. How Mama Had Me, Sabina Kwanzaa, has received her life insurance policy documentation, kind courtesy Allianz Ghana. There's more in this report by Tasha Michelle.
In 2021, Allianz Ghana sponsored the Joy and Adom FM's Mother's Day celebration and promised to ensure 10 mothers of participants of the How Mama Had Me on the company's life policy.
A bit about what we are doing for Mother's Day. We love mothers. We appreciate all their care. So for the mothers whose children have put in their entries on How Mama Had Me, we're giving free life cover to 10 mothers.
Wow.
And we're giving each mother a life cover of 40,000 Ghana cedis.
Wow.
So this covers total permanent disability. So throughout the next 1 year, all these children whose stories
Who sent
would
in the
win,
stories,
who send in
yeah.
stories would have free life cover from Allianz Life, and it's to the tune of 40,000 Ghana cedis. It would protect these mothers against total permanent disability. We also have a death cover.
Okay.
So this is 24/7, 365 plus years in the days in a year covering.
Today, Allianz Ghana Limited has fulfilled that promise and presented a dummy check of 40,000 Ghana cedis to a beneficiary, Sabina Arthur, who has lost her mum. Jane Kitome is the Chief Retail and Marketing Officer of Allianz Life Insurance.
On a very somber note, because Allianz Life, a multinational company found in over 80 countries across the world, partnered Multimedia last year in May to be a sponsor of the Mother's Day program. And as a result, we promised to pay benefits to cover 10 mothers. And these are mothers whose children participated in the essay competition. And as a result of that partnership, we covered one woman and her daughter Sabina because her mother, who was one of the benefits of 40,000 cedis as death benefit to Sabina Arthur, whose mother was one of the women we covered in May last year for Mother's Day.
The beneficiary, Sabina Arthur, expressed gratitude to Allianz Ghana Limited for fulfilling their promise of financial relief in time of mourning.
I am a daughter of Margaret Kwanzaa, a mother. She was part of last year Adom TV Mother's Day, and Allianz Insurance promised us that no one pray for that, but since that is part of us, if in case a mother died, they have an amount of 40,000 that they will give it to the beneficiary. So this morning we are here, and then they are also here for them to fulfill their promise. So I'm very excited and at the same time sad too, because it's not easy to lose a mother.
Tasha Michelle's report for Joy News.
Now, Blowcam, producers of Bell products, have made a donation to the Muslim community as part of their corporate social responsibility. Here's more from the Chief Imam's residence where the donation was received.
According to Blowcam, producers of Bell products, this will be the first of many donations in other parts of the country to support the Muslim community.
The Muslim community in Ghana is very key to our business. We thought it wise and prudent to visit them and commend them, appreciate the good work they've been doing. And fasting is a lot of discipline. So for someone to embark on a journey for a number of days, it is highly commendable. That is why we decided to come empower them with our products and encourage them to continue to the end. it's important to note that this exercise is being conducted nationwide. So the company is spending tens of thousands of cedis so that they can partner with the Muslims throughout the period. So you will be seeing this not only in Accra, in Kumasi, in Takrady, in Ho, in the northern region. All the parts in Ghana are experiencing this.
Head of Marketing for Blochem Industries, Midday, said this move is in order as the Muslim community is a main consumer of their product, tamarinda. He expressed his gratitude to the community.
We want to say, first of all, Ramadan Karim. We want to say Happy Eid. We want to say let them continue the good work, and they should keep consuming their favorite beverages. Ghana's #1 water brand Belacqua, and also tissue brand Belpac. If we take one of our products like Tamarinda, the success of it has been at the backbone of the Muslim community because they so love the product, and it's something they take even in their fast or after their fast. It's something they used to break their fast. So we thought, why don't we embark on this occasion to encourage them and to be part with them throughout the process.
Tasha Michelle's reports for Joy News.
And that's business. More news on our website, myjoyonline.com. Sports is coming up next.
And that's all in our bulletin for you for today. There's more news on myjoyonline.com. My name is Samuel Kojo Brace. Coming up next is the Marketplace here on Joy News. Good afternoon.